Hey, we are back. It is day number 29. It is the 30K in 90-day challenge. And we're going to be talking about why your faith ain't working, why your faith is not working on today's lesson. But before we jump right into it, my name is Tracy Walker. I am a baseball mom. I am a documented seven-figure earner here inside of the digital marketing arena. Okay. And I've been able to do very, very well over the years, full time, since 2008, inside of network marketing, building teams into the tens of thousands of people, making millions of dollars there, as well as in the affiliate marketing game, being being a top affiliate in many different programs, as well as having my own digital products, courses, ebooks, you name it, right? Trainings, downloads, training programs, coaching programs, being able to make a lot of money in that as well. And I find this to be so much better, right? An affiliate is the best way because it's less work. And when you have a model such as 100% commissions, it just makes sense to do that. All right. And then last but not least, I am a marketing automations expert. So that means that over my time, I've learned a thing or two about being able to put a sales page together, a funnel, a video sales letter, right? I've learned how to put payment buttons on a page where people can push the button and buy without me having to be on the phone with them, or without me having to be in the DM with them, or without me having to be on a Zoom or a webinar, right? Now, I'm not saying that those things are not vital in certain arenas, or that they cannot be beneficial, or that they do not add any value. What I'm saying is that it is not a requirement. And when you learn how to use automation, you begin to live the experience of freedom, right? Which is exactly what I want to help you get if that's what you want, all right? Which is more freedom, time freedom, financial freedom, and just having a better peace of mind, all right? So let's go ahead and hop on into it. Day number 29, we're talking about why your faith isn't working. And we're gonna put this around the frame, right? We're going to put this around the frame of making money online. Okay, because that's what we're talking about, right? We're talking about the 30K in 90-day challenge. So we're talking about making money online. All right. And so I've taken some notes here and I'm going to be kind of going back and forth because I want to make sure that I'm attacking these concepts and that they're landing for you. Okay. And so I had to write down some notes today, even though I'm kind of still going off the dome. I'm writing the notes because I want to make sure that certain points are made because it's going to help to bridge the gap. All right. So if we're talking about 30K in 90 days, all right, or 30K in 30 days, or 30K in 180 days, it doesn't even really matter from that standpoint, but we're talking about outside of the workforce, right? We're talking about in your own enterprise. We're talking about something that you're doing to make money, whether it's on the side, whether it is a full-time thing, but you're doing it from home. All right. What we're talking about is a non-salary. You're not going to go interview for this thing and somebody's going to agree to pay you for your time that you're going to exchange for the money. This is in reference to you building your own future, right? So first thing that I want to ask, okay, is if we know that it's possible to make 30K in 90 days, okay, which I know that it's absolutely possible. How do I know? Well, not only have I seen other people do it, but I've done it. Okay. I've made 30K in 30 days, right? I've made almost $200,000 in 90 days before. Okay. So what I'm saying is, since we know whether it's through your own personal experience or whether it is through your observation of someone else's experience, and they have been set as an example for what is possible, whether you like them or don't like them, it doesn't matter. But the example has been set that we know it is possible. It is not an impossible feat, right? The question then becomes, if you desire to make 30K in 90 days, why haven't you? That's the question. If you know it's possible and you know that you could use 30K in 90 days, and I've been laying out a blueprint for you over the past 28 days, strategy wise, content wise, research wise, um, things that you need to do mindset wise, if I've laid all this out up to this point, not in full totality, right? Because we got more we got to do over the next 60 days. But if I've given you all of that up till now, and you've been watching this, or you've been around me for a little while, the question is, why haven't you generated 30K in 90 days? Let me even go so far as to say, why have you seen other people possibly make 30K in 90 days and you have not made 30K in 90 days? So the first thing that we have to ask yourself is, do you have faith that it's possible, right? Do you have faith, right? Like, I'm manifesting my truck right now, right? I am speaking on a very particular truck that I want, right? Very fancy little truck. Very fancy little truck. I've gone, me and my son, we've gone and we've gotten in this truck. I set an appointment with the sales rep and we got in, we got all the details, right? We got the feeling of it, all right? I look at this truck all day on my phone, right? Today, my son had to go to batting practice. So while he's in the cages and I'm sitting in my car in the air conditioning because it was 95 degrees outside, I'm on my phone in my photos looking at this truck. I'm imprinting this image of this truck, the interior, the exterior, right? I'm doing that on my phone, right? I did that with the car that I have right now, right? I did that with the car that I have right now. So I know I can manifest the luxury vehicle that I want because I've done that. I have faith that I can do that. If you want a vehicle, if you want a house, if you want 30K in 90 days, if you want whatever it is that you want and you don't have it, and you've wanted it for as long as you can remember, long enough, why don't you have it? And I'm going to share with you why I believe that your faith is not working, because I am going to also assume that you have faith. So what generally happens is that people will tell you, oh, you didn't want it enough. Or people may say, oh, God had something different for you. Or, we say, like, when one door closes, another door opens, right? Now, I am not against any of those things if those things are actually the case. But many times people say those things as justification when they do not know whether that is truly the case or not. It's just the next best thing to say when you have realized that, shoot, I had faith in something and it didn't work out. So instead of saying faith don't work, you say, well, God had a different idea for me. Now, I'm not saying God did or didn't. I'm saying you can't emphatically prove that that is the case, especially if the rule says, Miss Donna says it right here, she has faith in the mustard seed, right? If the rule says you got faith of a mustard seed, you could tell that mountain to move from over here to move over there, right? If that is the universal law, if that is God's law, and then it doesn't work, then you can't say God didn't want you to do it, right? What you then have to say is, my faith wasn't working. My faith wasn't working. Because if the rule is, if you have the faith of a mustard seed, you can move the mountain from over here to over there. And then you think that you have the faith of a mustard seed, and then the mountain doesn't move. The mountain doesn't move an inch. The mountain doesn't move nowhere at all. Then you don't say my faith didn't work. You say God didn't want me to do it. It's an easy cop out. It's convenient to say that. You don't really know. So let me explain something to you about how it works. Okay. And I want this particular training today, I want this to be a revolutionary training for you. I want this to be something that you go back and you watch and you say, okay, and you start to really internalize what I'm saying. I'm going to speak at a very high level in terms of keeping it surface. I'm not going to go too deep, but there are elements to this. There are elements to this that you may need to dive deeper into because it's pertinent to why you aren't getting what you want to get. And if I were you, which I'm not you, I'm me, but we're both human beings, I would assume that If I am wanting something and I am continuously not getting it, I'm curious enough to start asking what the world is going on. And I see those people are able to get it. And I see that it's possible for that person to have it. I see that it's reasonable for this person to live this type of freedom lifestyle. I know that I'm capable of doing this. So, what is the problematic area that is preventing me from experiencing the thing I'm saying that I want? You got to be curious about your own situation. You can't just say, oh, well, God wanted a different type of way. You can, but you'll never understand it. And you will always just blame it on something else while you watch other people achieve their goals and you just accept the fact that you don't achieve any of yours. If you're okay with that, then this particular lesson may not be the right lesson for you. If you are saying to yourself, yes, I want to know more about yeah, I got to know why. Like, I'm curious. At least get me on the track, Tracy, where I can start doing some more research on this stuff, right? That's who I'm looking for on this. So let's talk about the 30K in 90 days. We're going to use that as an example. That may not be what you want. I'm going to use it as an example because that is the name of my challenge. My challenge. Okay. We're going to use that as because I do want you to do that. And you're watching this because it's intriguing to you. You're like, what would $30,000 do for you if you were able to make it in the next 60 days at this point? Would that be life changing? Would you be able to do some things? Like, it's kind of like an idea like, shoot, heck yeah, I could use it. But let's get into why your faith ain't working. So the first thing that I want to ask you is, do you really think that you could make $30,000 this month? Now, we are at the time of the recording of this video. This is the beginning of the month. Okay. It's the beginning of the month. It's August. So with about 24 more days, let me ask you this. Do you believe that you could make 30,000 this month, August? Do you believe that you could make 30,000 this month? And I actually want some feedback. I actually want you to put it in the comments. Do you believe that you can make $30,000 this month? In whatever side business you've got going on, whatever you got going on, this is outside of your job. This is not job income. This is not W-2 income. This is 1099 income. Do you believe you can make 30,000 this month? Right? Do you believe it? Okay, Janet says, yes, I believe it. Okay, Donna said, I believe God can and will. We're not talking about God, Donna. We're talking about you. See, I want to make sure that we understand that we are not going to speak with any external, right? We got to be realistic with what we're saying. I'm not saying edge God out. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that God has already given you the instructions on what you need to do. You can't keep throwing it back on him. He already said you got to have faith at the side of a mustard seed. He already said that. So if you take that at face value, then we're not going to throw it back on what God can do. The question is, Donna, this is your life, your experience, your skin, your shoes, your hair, your body, your life. Do you, right? Donna says, yes, I do. Okay, great. So why haven't you? Because I'm sure if you believe you could do it this month, then you might have thought that last month you could do it too, right? Or the first time you ever heard making 30,000 in 30 days, like, why haven't you done this already? Now, this is a rhetorical question because I want you to start thinking about this, right? Because it's one thing to say, oh, heck yeah, I believe I can, but I never did. I've wanted to do it before. I believed I could before. Yep, I believed I could do that, but I never did. So then we have a mismatch in what we're saying and what we're doing. We're saying that we can do something, but then we're not doing it. That means we're out of integrity. We're out of integrity. Yes, I believe I can, but I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Donna says, I haven't made 30, but I've done other amounts. Right. We'd say 30. I'm going to need y'all to stay with me. See, we can't make this fit. We can't make this fit what's comfortable. We can't make this fit what's comfortable so that we can justify or feel better. And I'm not jumping on anybody. What I'm trying to get everybody here to understand is that we have to play by the rules. The minute we start justifying stuff and wiggling out and, oh, God will do it and all this other stuff, the devil don't want me to do it. As soon as we start doing that, we're removing our ability to actually create the life that we want. Because it is now the fault of someone else, or it is for someone else to do. Okay. So the reason why most people, this is not Donna per se, because I don't know you. This isn't Janet per se. I do know you. I do know you, Janet, right? Money blocks is a good one, right? But you cannot do something that is outside of the frame of reference by which you believe things are possible for you. In other words, we have our brain, our mind, not our brain, our mind. On a conscious level, you say, oh, I want to make 30,000 in 30 days. Oh, I want to live in this house by the end of the year. Oh, I want to be married by this time next year. Oh, I want to do this. I want to have this, right? Whatever it is, whatever the scope of your imagination is, your conscious mind says these things are a possibility out here on the buffet table of life. And I know I can grab this thing, right? And I can say, I want this thing. But you have this thing called your subconscious mind that has already been programmed. It's like a thermostat. It's already been programmed to tell you what you are going to accept as true and what you are not going to accept as true. It's just, you didn't program it. Okay. If you're aware at this point in time, if you've been around me any period of time, you've been hearing me talk about this for years, or you have other thought leaders that you've studied that are far more, what's the word called? Educated in this arena than me. Doesn't matter. Then you know that maybe you have taken on the role of beginning to program your own, right? At this point. But the average person doesn't even know that there's a difference between a conscious and a subconscious. And even if they do know, they don't even realize that they are being guided every day. Their thoughts, their feelings, their actions are all based on what the subconscious says. So you say, I want to make 30,000 a month. And your programming says, but you've never made that before. Because you haven't. And because you haven't, Pastor Janet says, money block. I'm just going to expand it beyond money because it could be with anything. You have a box. You have a limitation. You have a programmed limitation that says, you ain't never did that before, girl. What are you talking about? Well, how are you going to do that? Well, who going to show you how to do that? Well, with what money you going to use to do that? Well, what you going to sell to do that? Who job you going to work on to earn that, right? There's a limitation because you don't have a frame of reference. You do not have a folder in your file cabinet that your brain can access and open up and say, here's how I made $30,000 in a month the last time. You don't have that file. You don't have that file to go back to. Even if my girl Donna says, well, I haven't made 30, but I made other, but let's say you made 10, it ain't 30. So when you say I want to make 30, your frame of reference will say, well, we see right here, Miss Donna, you made 10. Now that's what you gonna make, honey. That's what we used to making, and that's what we gonna make is 10. I know you saying 30. Go ahead, have your faith, have your faith. Yeah, I know. Keep praying. But this here file say 10. Your subconscious is saying, no. This is the limit in what we're doing. Because anything outside that limit, oh, that's scary. Anything outside this box, oh, wait now. That's unsafe. You know how much you're going to have to risk for that? Wait a second. Do you know how much of that good sleep you're going to have to not get? Come on now, Donna. You know you need that sleep, girl. Wait a second. You mean to tell me you're going to have to get off work and you're going to have to work after work? Now, we don't work after work. Okay, what we do is we come home, we get our clothes, our outside clothes, I put our inside clothes on. All right. What we do is we watch a couple of shows on our TV. All right. We might cook a little dinner. All right. This is what we do. You want me to start thinking again, and we already went to work today? Oh, no. That's not what we do inside of this limitation. I don't have a file in here, Miss Donna. I have a file in here, Miss Janet, that says, well, we do that. We don't do that. And I don't see how that's going to help us. In fact, it's going to make us more tired. In fact, it's going to make us spend money we don't have. And in fact, I think this is downright unsafe. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. So you go on and you looking at this webinar where they're like, oh man, you can make 30K in 90 days. You can make 30K in 30 days. And you're like, your conscious mind is like, yes, I can do 30,000 in a month. I know it's possible. I know it's possible. I know it's possible. And your subconscious is like, I don't know why. I already done told her we ain't doing that. She can be excited and hype if she wants to. She can go to the event. She can spend $2,000 in Vegas. She can do all that. She can have fun at the white party. Okay. She can have some drinks and have some hors d'oeuvres, and she can get hyped up at the conference, and she can look at all them people on that stage, all she wants to. But I am trying to tell her, when we get home and it's just me and her, I'm going to remind her we're not doing that. So go ahead. Live your best life, girl. Have at it. It's giving freedom. You ain't going outside that box. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? You're not going outside the box because you do not have a frame of reference outside the box. So the box is there to protect you. No matter what your conscious mind is saying, your subconscious mind is saying it ain't happening. We ain't shaking that way. Okay? Now, there is something that is called progressive overload. And then there is something that's called dramatic overload. Let me tell you what dramatic overload is. Dramatic overload would be when you have a reference of 5,000 a month, or you have a reference of 10,000 a month, and now you want to go to 30,000 a month, you want to go to 50, you want to go to $100,000 a month, and you think that you're going to be able to use your willpower to jump yourself from 10,000 all the way to 30,000 in the same 30 days. Okay. And you don't have a reference. You don't have a frame of reference. So you're going to jump this way. You're going to pray. That's fine. And you're going to have faith. That's fine. But what you're going to realize real soon is you're not going to make it all the way over here. What's going to happen is you're going to jump and you're going to hit that ground. It's going to be called failure, or it's going to be called struggle. That's called dramatic. In layman's terms, that's called biting off more than you can chew. Y'all with me? Biting off more than you can chew. You know that it is possible, but your frame of reference is prohibiting you from acknowledging that it's not possible for you in the current state. But you're trying to use willpower to jump from 10 to 30, and your subconscious says, we not doing that. So the minute you start jumping, and here's 30 and this is 10, you fall short. Boom, I didn't hit it. Okay, I'm gonna try it again next month. Boom. Okay, wait. I'm gonna try it again next month because it's 10 more people that did it. It's 10 more people in my company. It's 10 more people in my team. It's 10 more people that have done it. I know that examples have been made. I know it's possible. Shh, boom, you're gonna keep doing it, right? So then you say, must not be meant for me. The Lord ain't willing, I guess, huh? Suddenly God went from saying you can have the desires of your heart to now he's saying, well, I was joking. I didn't really mean the desires of your heart. I was just saying sometimes if I felt like giving it to you, it would be the desires of your heart. And this is one of the times that I don't feel like giving it to you. But I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to give it to you. I'm going to make you think that what I said was what I meant. But I lied. Now, do you think God is saying that? I don't know. I'm just giving to you the way your mind works. It's because you can't conceive it really. You can't conceive it really. You think it, but you don't really conceive it, really. What is a conception? Let's talk about it from a physical male female reproductive standpoint, because we seem to all understand that pretty well. Okay, we all got here some kind of way, probably that same exact way, right? So you've got the male part of stuff and you got the female part of stuff. These two stuffs separately do not conceive a child. As good as the female stuff is, and as good as the male stuff is, there is no conception until what? Until one of the male stuff actually makes contact with the female stuff. And then we have a burst. We have a what? Explosion internally, right? We have a meeting of the what? The minds. You know where that phrase comes from? It comes from your conscious mind and your subconscious. You have a meeting of the minds. Okay. Until then, these two minds, they're not meeting. They're not meeting. So the man and the woman have to do this little thing, this little two-step. And through that two-step, there's some male stuff that will come into contact with some female stuff. And if that thing does what it's supposed to do, then you're going to have a conception. You do not have a conception of the idea of 30 a month. You don't have a conception. You're thinking about, in other words, you're thinking about combining the male and the female. You got this lady you like, you got this man you like. You're thinking about the act. It sounds good. You know, the act is possible. You know, if you did the act, what may be the result of the act if there's no restrictions or contraceptives or anything like that restricting it, right? Or nothing is happening there. It's just the natural situation, okay? You can think about the act. You can know the act itself is possible, and you could know the result of the act if you were to actually partake in the act. But if you do not do the act, then it ain't no conception. A lot of people are thinking about the 30K a month. They know it's possible about the 30K a month. They fantasize about the 30K a month a little bit, but there's no conception of the idea. It's not meeting anything. In your conscious mind, it is not meeting with the sub, because the sub is like, what the hell are you talking about? We're not doing that. So you start making these dramatic overloads. Boom. You're trying to get there, right? You can't get there. Now, y'all got that part, right? You got that? Wrote that down? Dramatic. Okay. Now, let me talk to you about progressive overload. Progressive overload is where there are incremental increases. Incremental increases in the amount that you're taking on. So, for example, let's say you're at $5,000 a month and you want to go to $100,000 a month. If you've never done $100,000 a month before, but you believe it's possible to do $100,000 a month, even if I gave you the blueprint to do $100,000 a month, if you do not have a conception of that, you will not do $100,000 in a month. You can't willpower yourself to do that. You know why? Because you don't really believe that you can. You know that it's possible, but you don't really believe it, because if you believe that you have a meeting of the minds, you would have a conception, you would have a big burst, and it would happen. But since it's not happening and it hasn't happened, it's because there's no conception there. So I say, okay, well, not 100,000 a month, but do you think you could do 50,000 a month? You say, oh, I think I could do 50,000. I say, well, I don't think I can do it this month. I think I could probably do it in 3 months. I don't believe I can do 50,000 this month. Okay, well, you can do 30,000 this month. Oh, it's possible. It's possible. Okay, do you believe you could do 20,000 this month? Now that I'm starting to feel better. Starting to feel better about 20. 20 seems like, whew, okay, it's a jump, but it's not 100. Remember, we was at 5. Started at 5, right? Say, okay. Do you think you could do 10,000 a month? Absolutely. Hands down, I can do 10,000 a month. You know, without a shadow of a doubt, you could do 10, because you know from a frame of reference that you could do 5, and Even if nothing more, you would believe that I could double myself. You believe that you could double yourself. You don't necessarily believe that you could 100 times yourself or 10 times yourself, but you believe that you could at least double yourself, right? Double the result. So now that you have an idea that you can conceive that feels like that's reachable, then instead of us jumping from 5,000 to 100,000 and you keep having this drop off, this failure, this struggle to get there, then let's not worry about 100. Let's focus on 10. You know why? Because if you cannot conceive it, you can't achieve it. That's what I say. What the mind of man can conceive, he can achieve. Conceive doesn't just mean believe, does it? Because a conception is not a belief that a baby is there. It's not a belief. A conception is that the baby is the workings are the wheels in motion. It's this thing happening. This thing is happening. So much so, ladies' cycle come on more cases than not. Or the ladies' cycle supposed to come on. It don't come on. How do we know? Because she's conceived a child. So the 10,000, we know we can double, we can do incremental. And now, because you can actually conceive that, because you can actually see yourself making 10, because you actually know that's tangible to you, even if it's intangible in your mind, your thoughts, right? But you could close your eyes and you feel like going from 5 to 10, that's a 10. You can reach that, you can grasp that. You can grasp that without struggle mentally, right? That would be a progressive overload. So part of the reason why your faith ain't working is because you're trying to do a dramatic overload. You're trying to go from something that you're at right now to doing something that's so far beyond what you've ever done or you could even conceive, that even if you tried to do it, you would fail so miserably and you would struggle so aggressively that you would eventually talk yourself out of doing it altogether, which is why in the home-based business realm, in the digital marketing realm, in the online marketing realm, people quit more than they win. I'm not joking. Like if you were going to just, I know you want to believe that, yeah, no, I do believe this thing, right? Then why do so many people quit? I ain't made no money in this thing yet. Dramatic overload. Well, how come it's working for them, but it ain't working for me? Dramatic overload. Well, I'm making all my posts. I'm doing all the content. I'm doing exactly what you told me, doing exactly what you told me to do. Subconscious limitation. It ain't been conceived. You just going off what I'm saying you could do. You just going off what you think you can do. You just going off what would be nice. Now, once you believe or you have access to that 10,000 in your mind, say, okay, yeah, I could do 10,000. You know what kicks in? Confidence. You're confident that you could go from making 5,000 a month to 10,000 a month, aren't you? You're confident in that. You're not confident in the fact that you can go from 0 or 5 to 100 grand a month. You're not confident. Confidence is like the main ingredient to getting what you want to get. It's confidence. How can you have confidence in something that you've never done? Faith has to include confidence. I made a post on Facebook earlier today, and I'm gonna go to the post for a second because there were quite a few people that answered my question for me, right? And I said, faith, how would you define it? Right? I said, faith, how would you define it? And not everybody, a lot of people went right to the Bible. They told me what the Bible's definition was. And I find that interesting. I find it interesting that I asked, how would you define it? This says, how would you define it? And a lot of the people went to a third party resource and told me what the author of that said it was. Now, I'm not here to challenge who the author was or what the point is. If you look at what I'm asking, I want you to see the way the psychology works. I want you to see the way psychology works. I said, how would you define it? And there were a couple of people that actually did define it on their own. One guy says, an excuse for all out action. That was pretty good. Somebody else told me what other people talked about in their songs. They didn't answer it. They just said, oh, well, Limp Bizkit and George Michael talked about it in their songs. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Somebody else said, believing in something unseen. Somebody else said, I personally define it as a belief and a reliance on the word of God based solely on the authority and integrity of its author. Somebody else said, according to Napoleon Hill. Somebody else said, according to the Bible. One guy said, trust. Another person gave me Hebrews 11:1. Another person gave me Hebrews 11:1. Another person had a deep conviction or belief in a reality you desire and seeing it as real long before it can be seen manifest in the reality seen by our senses. Now, that's pretty good too. But even if we go to the Hebrews 11:1, it says faith is the substance of things hoped for. It's the substance. It's the substance of things hoped for, not the thing. Not the thing hoped for. It is not the thing hoped for. Faith is the substance of things hoped for. So if you're hoping for $30,000, what is the substance of $30,000? What is the substance? That's the faith is the substance of the thing. The substance of the thing. Not the thing. Y'all with me? Faith is the substance of things hoped for. The substance of things hoped for. What is the substance required to get something? What is the substance? What is the material? What is the core requirement? What do you need to have? What is the substance of the thing hoped for? What is that substance? What is that substance? Pastor Jenna says it gives the title deed to the thing. Right. What is that? That's confidence. That's the conviction, right? Somebody said it on there as well. Somebody else said on here, right? It's a conviction. Right? Somebody said, faith is the assurance, right? Pastor, you said the title deed. It's the assurance of things hoped for. What is the assurance? What is a title deed? What is an assurance? What is assurance? Because see, I'm telling you, this is why your faith not working. Because you don't really know what faith is, generally speaking. What is assurance? Okay, so I just went right to the internet. I typed in assurance. The definition says a statement or indication that inspires confidence. Assurance inspires the confidence. It's a guarantee or a pledge. It's a guarantee or a pledge. So faith is the assurance. Faith is what is supposed to inspire the confidence. Faith is supposed to inspire the confidence. Faith is supposed to be the title deed. Faith is supposed to be the guarantee of the thing desired. Faith is the guarantee. Faith is the thing that inspires the confidence so that you can go get the thing that you want to get. Well, you don't have no confidence. So why Why is it such a big deal when you don't get what you want? Because you don't even know what assurance is really. What the title deed is really. What is a deed to a house? A deed to a house is the piece of paper. It's the guarantee that the stated person is the owner of the house. The stated person is the owner of the house. It's the guarantee. It's it right? It's the thing. It is not the faith. I mean, it is not the thing. It guarantees the thing. So faith guarantees the thing, but you don't have any confidence because faith is the assurance. It's not the thing. Faith is the assurance. It's the this. But you don't have no confidence. You don't have it. You don't have any assurance. If faith is the assurance of the thing and you don't have any assurance, then you don't have any faith. It's a very simple concept. It's a very simple, if you want to break it down. Because see, I don't like it when people are like, oh, God just told me to have it. No, you have to know what you're dealing with. If we're talking about the spiritual realm, if we're talking about, right, if we're talking about how the mind works, if we're talking about going from unseen to seen, then you better understand what that means. You got to get out of the woo-woo and you got to get out, in my opinion, of just going and grabbing words out of the Bible and you still do not, you can recite the words. Hold on one second. Josiah, are you okay? My child just, I don't know, I heard a big thump out there. It is you can recite the words, but if you don't have comprehension, see, people sound smart and have no idea of the comprehension, which is why you have so many people that walk around that say they have a faith in something, but the fruits of their labor do not represent that, right? Their fruit does not represent that. Why doesn't their fruit represent that? Because if you do not have a true comprehension of what the thing is that you are claiming, then you sound good and you sound smart. But when we look at your life, it is evident that there is a disconnect between what you are saying and what is actually going on internal to you. So your faith isn't working because your faith is the assurance of the thing. The assurance of the thing. Your faith is the guarantee. Your faith is the thing that inspires the confidence of the thing. You don't have any confidence. You don't believe you can do it. You want to do it. You know it's possible to do it. You've seen other people do it, but you don't believe you can do it. And what really builds confidence, ladies and gentlemen? What is it that builds confidence? Let me give you an example. So my son plays baseball, right? And in baseball, you have a pitcher that's on a mound. And the pitcher takes this little round white ball with this red thread, and the pitcher throws the ball at the batter. He's really trying to do a couple of things. He's trying to either make the batter swing and miss the ball, or he's trying to make the batter think that the ball is going outside of the strike zone. The batter does not swing at all, and it is called a strike. It is a strike even if the batter swings and misses. It's a strike. So the pitcher has a very specific goal of getting the ball to go inside of a predetermined unseen box. And the box actually changes based on the height of the batter. So it's an ever-changing box. It's not a standard box. Okay, it's a floating box, if you will. It's a box. And the pitcher job is to throw the ball in that box and either make the batter swing and miss the ball, or think that the ball is going to go out the box and then swing and it goes in the box, or not swing and it goes in the box and it's a strike. Right? You guys with me? Now, the batter We're going to turn perspectives. The batter is looking at the ball coming at them. At my son's age, 55 miles an hour, 54 miles an hour, 45 miles an hour, somewhere around in there. Maybe, I mean, there are some kids that pitch a little bit faster, but generally speaking, around there. Okay. So he's sitting there. He's looking at a ball coming at him. Boom. A little hard white ball coming at him. And his job is to see this ball coming. His job is to stand there with a slim item that we're going to call a bat. And his job is to have the bat where he cannot see the barrel of the bat. He can't see the barrel of the bat. The barrel of the bat is behind him. He is to look at the ball coming. He is to then swing and turn his body in such a way that this barrel of a bat that he cannot see should now be timed up perfectly to actually come into contact with this ball and then hit this ball in a direction where the 9 people out there, none of them catch it. That's the goal. Or it go out of the field of play altogether, right? How would a batter like him get confident that he could hit that ball? What needs to happen for him to be confident that he could hit that ball? In other words, would it be reasonable for him to think, never play baseball ever, let's just say, never hit a baseball at all coming from a pitcher throwing it at 55 miles an hour? This never happened. Would it be reasonable to think that he believed that he could go out there and he could hit a home run the first time he ever went out there, and he never did it before? Would that be a reasonable idea for a 10-year-old? Okay, y'all work with me now. Y'all still with me? Okay, because I'm trying to paint a picture so you understand this is why it ain't working for you. It's not that hard. It's just you're forgetting some very important things, or you've forgotten. Because I believe you innately know. You've forgotten. So if he's out there and he's never, he's watching all the MLB players on TV do it. He's watching all the college kids at D1 and D2 schools do it. He's looking at the high school kids do it. He's even seen some little league kids do it, 11, 12, 13 years old. He's seen these kids do it too, but he's never done it. So he believes he can do it. So we go out and we get the best bat. We go out and we get the most magical helmet. We go out there and we get some amazing batting gloves, and we stick him right there and on the plate, and we have a pitcher come out there, a pretty good, decent pitcher. He's going to pitch that ball right in that box. And his job is to stand there with a barrel he ain't never seen, holding a bat he ain't never held, with a ball he ain't never seen, a pitcher he ain't never seen. He don't know what this pitcher is getting ready to do. And his job is to swing this bat. Bat needs to hit the ball, and that ball needs to go flying outside of the Little League stadium first time he does it. Is that a reasonable thing? Now, listen. God says all things are possible, don't he? I know y'all gonna tell me that. Because my lady said earlier, well, with God, I can do it. Okay, well, with God, can he do it? Now, not talking about possibility. I'm talking about probability. Anything possible. But what is the likelihood? Come on, let's get real. What is the likelihood that that is going to happen? Faith does go beyond reason. But faith requires confidence. If you don't have the confidence, then you don't have the faith. So my question is exactly that. What level of confidence would the person have if they've never hit a baseball before, never swung a bat before, never had a pitcher throw a 55-mile-an-hour ball at them before? What type of confidence would that child have if they walked up there and their goal was to hit the ball out of the park on the first try? What is the level of confidence? That's the question. Because the confidence, faith inspires confidence. What level of confidence? Okay. The reality is that it'd be very little confidence. Very little confidence. Now, let's just say blind faith, right? Just crazy, ignorant, like, oh man, I could do anything, right? Let's say he goes out there and then he takes that first swing and he misses. He takes the first swing ever and he misses. What happens to the confidence that he thought he had then? What happened to it? What happens to that confidence? What happens to that confidence? Let's say he had crazy confidence. Shoot, I can do anything. I can do anything. I'm a quarterback for my school football team. What do you mean? I'm an A student. I'm the valedictorian of my class, right? Because I've done amazing things and other things before. I am capable. I am smart. I am strong. I am worthy. I have the utmost confidence that I can go out here and swing this bat, hit this ball, never done it before, out of the park. So I go up there with all of my confidence. I stand there, I swing, I miss. What happens to my confidence? Thank you, Pastor Janet. It drops a little bit. It don't drop a lot, does it? It's drop a little bit. Drop a little bit, right? Now, it drops a little bit, and you say, well, wait just a minute. I ain't no quitter. I ain't no quitter. And so you get back up there, you mosey yourself on back up to that plate. You straighten out that helmet. You get that stance and you put that bat right back where you think it needs to go. You ain't had no training. You don't know where the bat go. Anybody telling you where to stand? Anybody telling you how to stand? Anybody telling you about timing? Anybody taught you about seeing the ball? Nobody taught you about focus on the inside of the ball? You don't know none of that. You just going off straight confidence that now has dropped a little bit. So you get back up there, best thing you know, and you swing again and you miss again. Okay, then what happens to confidence then, Pastor Janet? What happens? What happens, Donna? What happens, Pack Leader 87? What happens to the confidence after the second swing and miss? What happens? Because see, I said at first I was confident I could hit a home run because I am excellent in other areas of my life. In fact, I'm the top this, I'm the perfect that, I'm an excellent this and that. My grades, my test scores, my physical stature, right? My mental toughness, it's all great. What happens? Oh, yeah. I don't know, Donna, if we're going to give up just yet, but Pastor Janet definitely going to drop some more, ain't it? Do y'all see where I'm going with this? It's going to drop some more. You had faith, didn't you? Did you say you had faith? So as your confidence starts to decrease, what happens to this faith? What happens to this faith thing y'all got? What happens to this faith? If the confidence is dropping, what's happening to the faith? Somebody tell me. What's happening to the faith? If the confidence is dropping, where's this with God, I can do everything? Where's that at? Okay, you guys get what I'm saying? I ain't saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying, where is the faith if the confidence is dropping? Logically speaking. So that's right, you don't give up. That's correct. So we're going to keep going and you're going to keep going. You're going to keep going, right? So there's a lot of people that resemble that out in the internet marketing space and they don't quit. They keep going, right? And they might try this program and that program and this program and that program and this and that. And I'm not here to judge any of that. I don't really care. I don't really care. What I'm saying is you got people that represent the fact that they're not going to quit. They're going to figure it out one way or another. Right now, what's generally happening is they're not thinking that their confidence is low and their faith is low and they need to fix the faith part and the confidence. What they're thinking is I need to fix the program. If I jump to this program, if I sell this product, if I work with this leader, if it's this price point, if it's cheaper, if it's more expensive, if it's online, right? We're looking at all of the ancillary things because there's no way it's your faith, is it? Oh no. Can't be. Because it's the one thing that we don't want to honor. It's the one thing that we don't want to acknowledge because you don't want to acknowledge that your faith ain't working. As Jeff said, your faith ain't faithing, right? You don't want to say that because innately innately you want to believe that you have faith, but you don't. So the problem is that you don't want to address the problem. So then you start looking at all the external things and saying, I'm not going to quit because I'm going to change the bat. Oh, I know. I'm not going to quit, but I'm going to change the team. I'm going to go on a different team. Oh, I know. I'm not going to quit, but I'm going to change my helmet. The helmet is the problem. That's why I'm not hitting the ball. It's my helmet. Oh, no. I know. It's my cleats. I need to get different cleats. See, I had Nike cleats, but I need to get the Adidas cleats because when I get the Adidas cleats, that's going to guarantee that my hands is going to hit this ball because my feet are planted solid inside of the box. That's what's going to happen, right? I'm going to get different cleats. That's what we're doing in the internet space. We just going to join this. We just going to join that. We're going to join, right? We're not addressing the issue. So let's look at faith. Okay. Now we talked about confidence, right? We said that faith inspires the confidence. We said faith is the assurance, right? Faith is the thing that like guarantees the thing, right? But if your faith is dropping, then that would mean that the guarantee of you getting the thing is also dropping, which means you're probably not going to get it. And so if you have that type of formula going on and you keep on trying with no faith, then you might as well not even be out there because you're wasting everybody's time, including your own. So let's talk about faith real fast. What's the origin of the word faith? What's the origin of the word? In other words, what's the etymology of the word faith? Y'all know? Anybody ever look that up? Anybody ever look that up? The etymology of the word faith. I did. The Latin origin of the word faith. Now, this ain't no Bible lesson. This is just a mental lesson. I need y'all to understand that. The etymology of the word faith, the origin, the Latin word is fides. 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 You can go look it up. Type in etymology of the word faith. Etymology, etymology. That is the origin of words. Like I study the etymology of words a lot of times because people think they're saying one thing and they're not. They're saying something else, but because it is socially accepted one way, people think they understand and that they know what they're saying when they don't know what they're saying. It's a bunch of people saying things that don't make any sense. But because everybody else is acting like they understand you, you think what you're saying is making sense, except for the people who actually know that what you're saying doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And you are indicating you have no comprehension of what you're even saying. Okay, yes, fides, Fides. What does fides mean? Dun, 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 dun. Confidence. We come back to that. So you mean to tell me that if we're going to look at the word faith, the origin Latin version of the word faith is really fides, but fides translated really into the word confidence. So faith is your confidence. Who controls your confidence? You. Who controls your confidence? That is not a God thing. God don't control your faith. You control your faith because your faith is your confidence. But you don't have no confidence. You know why? Because your limitation of your subconscious mind said, we ain't never did that before. So how do you have confidence that you are going to make $100,000 a month when you're only making $5,000 a month and you ain't never did it? And you are trying to do a dramatic type of overload. It ain't gonna happen. I don't care how many times you try, you can swing that bat all you want to. And even if you did make contact with the bat at some point, I can guarantee you it ain't gonna be a home run because that was the goal in the first place, not to just make contact. It was to hit the ball as a home run, which is the point of what I'm saying, that if we were to take progressive overload, then instead of the goal, your very first time ever at bat being to hit a home run, wouldn't it make more sense that your first goal is to make contact with the ball? wherever the ball goes, that's not even the issue. The issue is, can you make contact with the ball? That's what makes a much more make easy. Okay, because see, now you don't have to do all of that reaching for that. Okay, because this is about the way your mind works. This is not about what you want it to do. It's about what it's been showing you it can do. I shouldn't have to prove to you. You look over your life, you can see for yourself that you can believe all of that if you want. But what is evidentiary in your life that you have a limitation that you have not dealt with, and you are just thinking and hoping and praying and all of this stuff, and you have no confidence? When we know that confidence is built through what? Practice. Practice. So how are you practicing your faith? How are you practicing your confidence? How are you doing that? What are you doing every day that demonstrates you're practicing your faith, your confidence? In other words, your muscle, your subconscious muscle to take something from the unseen and bring it to the seen. What are you practicing every day to do that? Whether it's the money or not, how do you practice that? Like, for example, my son had batting practice today. He didn't have a game today. He did not have a game today. Do you understand that? He did not have a game today. So how does he practice his confidence? He practices his confidence by making contact with the ball, hitting the ball, getting better with the ball over and over and over and over and over, outside of the big thing that he wants to do. The big thing he wants to do is go to the MLB. Is he going to the MLB today? Hell to the no. He's not going to the MLB today. I don't care if you talking about, he's not going today. Do y'all understand that? You can say I can do all things. Yes, you can, but it won't be that. He is not going to the MLB at 10 years old, period. End of story. You know why? Because there is no way they're going to put a child in front of a ball coming at 95 miles an hour from a grown behind man throwing it at however many feet he is away from the plate. They're not getting ready to risk the lives of children because it doesn't make any sense. So he's not going. End of story. So in preparation to go, in other words, you want to go from 5,000 to 100,000 in preparation. I believe we're going to eventually get there. I believe I'm going to eventually get there. I believe he's going to eventually get there. But right now, in the meantime, in between time, how does he practice his confidence, his faith that he's going to get there? How does he practice the faith that he's going to get to the MLB when he's 10 and he probably won't even be able to go until he's around 17 at the earliest? Well, minor league, get drafted out of high school. My ex-husband did it, 17. So I know it's possible. I saw it. I witnessed it. Nobody can tell me you can't do it. I've seen my own ex-husband do it. So my frame of reference around what's possible for my son is already bigger than maybe the frame of reference for somebody else. It ain't because I did it, but it's because I saw somebody who I know work and do it. So my frame of reference is not in the box of he can't do it. It's I know that he can do it if he what? Has the what? The faith, the what? Confidence. So how do I help him build confidence? In who? Not in making it to the MLB. Confidence in what? His ability to get to the MLB. It's not this nebulous thing that happens. It's his confidence, not that just God is going to make it happen. No, it's his confidence in his ability to bring the unseen to the seen. The unseen not just going to come to the scene because you want it to. The unseen comes to the scene because you have the ability to do it. How do you get the ability to do it? By practicing your ability in doing it. Hello, is somebody with me? If y'all with me, I need y'all to type in the chat that y'all with me. Because you with me?
I'm with you.
Even my son with me. You with me, baby?
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. got you.
You got me? Is it clicking for you now? He's smiling and everything. You know why too? Because I made him right too tonight. Let me see your paper.
Well,
I made him right tonight. He actually kind of got in trouble a little bit. But guess what I made him do?
I'm not really finished with a retro note though.
Huh?
Like, I'm not finished with a retro note though.
Oh, you wrote me a note.
Yeah.
Why you ain't finished? You gonna go finish though. Now, go. Where's the paper at?
Can you see this one?
No, I'm doing a live. I'm not. I'll read the note later. Go give me the book. I made him right. Now I'm not gonna tell you exactly what I made him right. You know why? Because they say you manifest in the dark. Do you understand what I'm saying? What he is planning for his life. I told you the gist, because MLB, but what I am having him write, I'm not going to reveal that to you, what I'm having him write. You know why? Because that is between him and his own conscious and subconscious mind, where they can have a meeting of the minds. They have to meet, and he has to practice it. This is why people say do affirmations. This is why people say speak it into existence. This is why people say have gratitude. These are all different tools that you use to increase your confidence in your own ability to get something that you do not see and bring it into the realm where you see it. That is things that you practice.
Well, I'm not going to finish what I was reading there for you to give an available time to.
Go right.
Okay.
Okay, so I see you're helping, right? I know. Okay, thank you, ladies. Thank you, and gentlemen. Jeff say super facts. Okay, so let me ask you this: do you have as much conviction, right? Confidence, faith. Do you have as much faith in your ability to go from 5,000 to 30,000 in the month the same way you do knowing that if you went to that wall and hit that light switch that you had the ability to turn the light on? Is it that easy for you? Is it the same? Is it the same? How confident are you in your ability to walk over to your wall and hit a light switch to turn the light on? How confident are you in your ability to do that? So if I say, Pastor Janet, could you turn on the light? How confident are you that you could do that? Would you say, oh God, now Tracy, I ain't never turned on no light before. I ain't turned on no light before. I don't know now. I said, well, Pastor Janet, all you got to do is just walk over there and you see that little white panel, right? All you can do is two little switches. All you got to do is hit that switch, turn it up, hit it up. It's going to go. And you say, well, wait now. I've never walked to a light panel before. And I certainly have not ever taken my finger and done like that. Right? Right? So how confident are you that you could turn on the light? Very confident. So confident that it is almost mindless behavior. It's mindless behavior to think that you can't cut on a light switch. That's ridiculous. Why are you even suggesting that I would not be able to do that? Anybody can turn on the light switch. You know why? Because you're so confident in your ability, because you've done it over and over and over and over and over. And even as a small child, if someone told you, hey, little Janet, could you go over there? Yeah, hit that thing up there, right? So you didn't really know what you were doing, and then you did it, and you're like, oh, look what happened. When I did this, the light came on. So then you turn it back on. That's why kids play with the lights, right? And then you say, stop playing with the lights, right? Because they're like, what? Turn it on, turn it off. They're fascinated. They're like, oh, turn it on. So what are they doing? They're practicing. On, cut the light on. Okay, turn the switch down, light goes off. Switch up, light comes on. Switch down, light goes off. Oh my goodness, I'm building confidence by doing what? Turning the switch on and off, on and off. And I get a result every time I go up. I get a result. When I go down, I get a result. So if I keep doing this, I'm going to program myself to recognize that up means on and down means off. That's what's going to happen. And I'm going to build confidence that I can do that. I can turn the light on and I can turn the light off simply by doing this action or that action. That's how it works. So if I said to you, Janet, could you just go on over there, please, and make $30,000 this month? Do you have the same conviction? Do you have the same conviction? Okay, do you have the same confidence in turn on the light switch? Because if you don't, well, then that's exactly why you're not making $30,000 a month. Because you don't believe in yourself enough yet that you could do it. That's what this is. This is not some nebulous thing that you just get to walk around saying you have, and there's no evidence of any fruit when you're saying that you're doing it. Well, when are you going to show me if a kid's like, I'm turning on the light? And you're like, well, when is the light coming on? You're not, I would very easily say, society, you're not turning on the light. So I was like, I am turning on the light. I'm like, no, you're not turning on the light. He's like, yes, I am. No, you're not. So since you do not have the same type of conviction in your ability, because faith is the confidence in your ability, not what God is doing. God already said to you that you could have the desires of your heart, but it is through your what? You can have it through your what? Your confidence. That's your job to build your confidence. That ain't God's job to build your confidence. He's out of the equation at this point. Stop it. Please stop. Please. Can we please stop blaming God for why you don't have no confidence? God said, I will give it to you according to your heart through your faith, right? So your heart, do you believe in your heart of heart? That is a knowing. That is a knowing in your heart. That's a knowing. It's not a belief. It's a knowing. There's a difference between a belief and a knowing. Do you believe your name is Janet, or do you know your name is Janet? I don't have to believe when I know. I am thoroughly convicted in the fact that my name is Tracy. That's what my mother named me, Tracy. I don't got to believe it. I know she did it. How do I know she did it? Well, she would call me that. So obviously she did it. Now, if she told me she named me Tracy and then she kept calling me Pam, I would be confused. But she never called me Pam. She always called me Tracy. So since she was the one that was responsible for naming me, then I know that she named me that because she called me that until the day she died. Very simple. I have evidence that that's my name. And it's clear as day. And that's what it is. I know that. I don't believe that. I know it. Based on what she said to me directly. So the issue is you don't trust yourself. That's why you don't have confidence in yourself. You don't trust yourself enough. You don't trust yourself enough. You don't trust yourself enough. Not yet. You don't believe you can do it. You don't have the confidence you can do it. You know it is possible to do it. You've seen other people do it. You know that you could. It's feasible for you to do it. You don't believe God is telling you you can't do it. You like to say God said you can't do it because you don't do it, because it make you feel better to blame that mess on God, because it make you feel like, oh, well, God gave me something else to do. No, you don't believe in yourself enough. You don't have no confidence. Thus, you don't have no faith. You pretend that you have faith, but you really don't. Because if you deal with the words and the meanings of the words, and the word faith actually means fides, the etymology of it, Latin, and that translates to confidence. Then even in the Bible, it says it's the assurance of the thing. And then the assurance is the title deed, and the title deed is the guarantee. Then that also means confidence, which means faith equals confidence. I don't care where you get it from. I don't care where you get that from. That's what it means. So if you're not building your confidence every day in your own ability to do something, then you will not increase your ability to do something. So how do you practice that? Well, this is what I want you to do. And then we're going to get off here. This has been my longest training yet in these 30 days. But I think this is a powerful one, I must say. You got to practice your ability of bringing things from the unseen to the seen. Now, again, if you go out onto the field and your very first thing is to hit a home run and you've never even made contact with the ball, the goal should not to be to hit the home run. The goal should be to make contact with the ball. So let's bring it down to this. So if the goal, and you ain't never made 30,000 in a month before, the goal is not to make 30,000 in the month. The goal is to make 10,000 in the month. That's what we're going to focus on. That we might eventually, that's what we want to get to. We want to get to 30,000, but let's get to the 10 first. You're not losing sight of the 30,000. You're not giving up on the 30,000. You're not saying 30,000 ain't possible. You're not believing bigger. What you're saying is, I have to take incremental steps because my subconscious mind don't allow me to jump from some shit I ain't never did to just being dominant in something that I ain't never did. Pardon my French. Do you understand me? That's your subconscious. That's the way it works. It's programmed that way. So how do you reprogram that little joker that you cannot see? How do you program that little joker in there, that little box right there? How do you program that box to allow you to go outside of it, even though it's designed to make you come back in there? Its goal is to keep you safe and to say, whoa, that's way too risky. That's too much effort. That's too much energy. We don't exert that type of energy. We can't handle it. It's going to be overload on our system. Our operating system cannot function. It's going to be haywire. It's going to be Mayday. And we're going to need an SOS around here. So you can't do that. And you're with your willpower is like, yes, I can. And subconscious say, I'm the boss. Ma'am, sir, I run this. See, I'm the computer program, and the computer program override whatever you talking about. So since you ain't overrode my computer program yet, it's going to be the way I say it's going to be. So now my question to you is, how do you start to override the current computer program such that you start installing software where you start expanding the box, the quote unquote box, where you start moving outside of those limitations? How do you do that? You have to practice your ability to bring things from the unseen to the seen. And it doesn't mean that you got to go out there and get 10,000 right now today or 30,000 right now today. Start with small stuff. What is something that you don't have that you do want? Let me give you an example. I've already manifested myself having a dream car I wanted. Why can't I manifest another dream car? Now, even with manifesting the dream car, listen to me, even with manifesting the dream car, what if I started not by focusing on I have the car? Well, I am focused on having the car, but the incremental steps to me having the car from the unseen to the seen, the car is already in existence, right? We agree. The car already exists. The car is already on a lot somewhere. It's in somebody's driveway somewhere. It's somewhere in this country, probably in this state or Florida or anyway. Well, there's several in this state because I went and looked at one. My point is that it's somewhere, it's physically tangible. The car is. I don't have to create the car. The car exists. In fact, on my phone, I've got pictures of the exact color scheme that I want the car to be, the inside, the outside. I'm staring at it while I decide it's in batting practice. I'm just looking at it. So how do I practice bringing the car from what I don't have in my possession to then bring it in my possession? I'm going to tell you a way that I can practice. Y'all ever heard of synchronicities before? Y'all ever heard of synchronicities before, Jeff? Pastor Jenna say, I manifested a brand new paid in full car. There you go. Right? So you guys know what I'm saying? You've done it before. You've done it before. Synchronicities. So while you're working on bringing the physical car to you, you could practice by just bringing the visual of the car to you. In other words, the more you think about the car, I'll look at the picture, right? Okay, look at the picture. And then what happens? Usually what happens, you drive down the road and you'll see a car just like that, won't you? There go my truck, right? Or when they have that what's that Tesla truck?
Cybertruck.
That Cybertruck, right? So I was seeing it. I don't want no Cybertruck, but I'm looking at the Cybertruck. I see it on the internet, like, oh, look at the Tesla Cybertruck. This. I'm like, oh, that's a funny looking old car, right? And then next thing I know, one day, me and Josiah driving down the road, and the dang Cybertruck comes out of the Chick-fil-A. We're driving down the road. It comes out of the Chick-fil-A and turns and is right behind me. And I'm looking in my rearview mirror. I said, oh my God, Josiah. I said, that Cybertruck is behind us.
There's actually a kid who goes to my school that has a Cybertruck.
Now a kid that goes to his school have the Cybertruck. So now we're seeing this. So my point was that, thank you, Pumpkin. My point was that the first time that I saw the truck on the road was when the truck was coming out the Chick-fil-A and it was behind me. And then it turned, then it got on the side of us and it drove past. And me just started looking like, oh man, looks kind of cool. Looks kind of cool. Then another time I saw it, we're driving down 285 and there's a car right next to me. I was like, oh, look, there goes a Cybertruck. Then Josiah, I pick him up from school one day. He's like, Mom, there's a kid in my school. It's a Cyber. We were all trying to figure out whose Cybertruck that is. I said, what? Somebody picked somebody up with a Cybertruck? Yep. Then they went and found the little boy on the Instagram because his daddy was a rapper, right? But he goes to the school and now the rapper mama and the baby's mama, whoever, I don't know who driving the truck, but they got the truck, right? The truck is at the school. What I'm saying to you is, I don't own a Cybertruck and I don't want a Cybertruck. But the sheer fact that I was able to take a truck that I had never seen before, just from looking at it and like, what kind of truck, and researching it and looking and trying to figure out what's going on with this truck, to then physically seeing the truck, your reticular activating system will start to bring things into your realm as you start to focus on them more. In other words, what you focus on expands. Comprende? What you focus on expands. So because I was focused on the Cybertruck, I don't even want the dang truck, but I was focused. I was reading about it. I was looking at like, what kind of truck did it? Then maybe like 2-3 days later, the dang on truck pulled right behind me. I'd never seen that truck on the road in real life before. And now it's right behind me. And then maybe a few days later, it's another one, maybe same one. I don't know. But again, I see it in the lane next to me on 285. And then last week, the car is in the carpool at the same exact school that my son goes to. That is because whether I am consciously focusing on it or not, my subconscious has already focused on it. And now I have an attention to it, which means I see it because I'm focused on it. If I'm not focused on it, I probably would not see it. Does that mean that it doesn't exist? No, it most certainly exists. It just escaped my realm of attention because I would not have seen it. There's things that you want in your life that you cannot see because you do not practice focusing on it in any capacity enough at all for your subconscious to even pick up that it is something that needs to now have a file inside of your computer program. You thought about it, you talked about it once or twice, and you trashed it. It meant nothing. It was a hope that you had. It was not a conviction in any form of the matter. It was not a conviction. You had no confidence in your ability to achieve it. It was just passing conversation. This is why your faith ain't working, because it really ain't faith. It's just an ideal you had. Oh, I thought it would be nice if I had it, but I swung and I missed twice, so I'm done with this now. I am not good at this. I'm great over here, even though I've spent 25 years practicing medicine, Dr. Cheryl. Let's just say, I've been spending 20 years. I don't know how long you've been practicing medicine, but 20 years I've been practicing medicine. I'm really good at that. So since I'm so good at that, I should be able to hit this baseball out of the park. And when I get up there and I realize I cannot hit the baseball out of the park with no conviction, it's easy to put the bat down, walk off of the field, and say, done with that. That is not what a conviction is. And that is not indicative of confidence in one's ability, because confidence in your ability is, let me keep swinging. Let me keep practicing. Let me figure out what is wrong. Let me adjust my feet. Let me adjust my hips. Let me adjust the way I hold the bat. Let me adjust my timing. Let me adjust what I'm looking at when the ball is coming at me at 55, 60 miles an hour. Let me adjust all of these different things that are all related to me, not adjust the bat, not adjust the cleats, not adjust the helmet, adjust my ability to focus, adjust my ability to swing on time, adjust my ability to stand a certain way, adjust my ability to load a certain way. Those are all things that I'm responsible for, not the bat, not the company, not the comp plan, not the product, not the service, not the team, not the team leader. It's you. You have to have a real conviction in what it is you're saying that you want to do, so that you can practice it enough so that you would then have the confidence. And as your confidence goes up through you attaining incremental wins along the way, which is why we say things like small wins, celebrate the small wins. Why do we say celebrate the small wins? Because a small win is evidentiary that I can do it even if at this little bit of level right here. And if I can do it at this little bit of level right here, I can do it at the next level if I keep going. My confidence is what? It is building. It's building. In other words, the more confidence that you have in your ability, the better, the higher the chances are that you're going to achieve the thing, because the faith is the guarantee. So your confidence guarantees the thing. No confidence, low confidence means no thing. I don't care how hard you try. It's no thing. It's high confidence, even if people try not so much. This is why people have a little bit of faith, they say, confidence, and they don't have to work so hard, because the law says it's through your faith. But you have none. And don't talk to me about no faith the size of a mustard seed, because if you replace the word faith with confidence, you really don't have that now, do you? You don't have the confidence of a mustard seed if you keep starting and stopping, starting and stopping, starting and stopping, quitting and coming back, quitting and coming back, starting over, quitting, coming back, starting over. That is not confidence. You don't have the confidence of a mustard seed either. Now, maybe you need to go get yourself some mustard seeds, because they're tiny. They're really tiny. They're really, really tiny. And you need to look at it, and then you need to ask yourself, do I have even that amount of confidence? Do I have any self-trust in myself? Now, self-trust means you have to have discipline, because if you tell yourself, I'm going to get up in the morning and I'm going to make my bed, and then you get up in the morning and you do not make your bed, you are violating your own trust with yourself. If you say, I'm going to get up, and when I get home from work, I'm going to study my marketing, and when you get home from work, you don't study your marketing, what does that do? That means you are out of alignment with the trust within yourself. Now, the more times that you break the trust with yourself, that that is why you don't have any trust, which is why you don't have any confidence, which is why you do not have any faith, which is why you're not manifesting anything that you want to manifest. Because ultimately, you broke your own trust with yourself. So you don't even trust yourself enough to do what you need to do to get what you need to get. So you want to blame God for it. And I'm saying to you, how unfair of you. How rude, actually. Because you know, how rude you keep blaming somebody else for your inadequacies. Can I be real with y'all? Can I be real with y'all? I'm just saying. I'm just asking. I don't know if I can. Here's what I want y'all to walk away with. If you visualize the thing that you want, which is what I'm talking about my car, if you focus on the thing that you want, let's say it's the car. If I get it to a point where my reticular activating system picks it up and then I see the truck driving down the street, I'm like, oh, it's getting close now. It's getting close now. Because it's evidence, because I took it from not seeing it anywhere. My subconscious wasn't even picking it up. My signal, my frequency wasn't even picking up the truck. I'm saying I want to hear this song on the radio, and I'm turning the stations and I don't hear the song on the radio. But if I keep turning the stations and eventually I start hearing a little clarity, I'm like, oh shoot, I hear something. I hear something. At least my signal is what? Picking it up. It's not clear as day yet. I don't hear the whole song yet, but I hear something. It's picking it up. I don't have the car in my possession yet, but I see it driving down the street more often than not. At least my reticular activating system, the frequency is, the signal is picking up the thing. It's now not even in the unseen no more. It's gone from being in the unseen. It's in the seen. It's just, I haven't gotten all the way close to it yet. I see it. It's within reach. Now it's within reach. It's not just in my mind anymore. Now I see the damn car driving down the street. Every day I see this car driving down the street. It's within my reach. I know it's possible. I see it, and I know by me focusing my attention on it, it was me that brought the signal of the thing into my realm where I physically notice it driving down the street. You have to practice bringing things from the unseen to the seen in incremental processes. When you do that, guess what that's going to be? We're going to call that a confidence boost. That's a confidence boost. When he hits the ball, which he hits the ball a lot, he's batting like a 487, something like that. That's pretty good. He hits the ball a lot. He's not usually walking to the plate thinking, I'm not going to hit the ball. He's usually thinking, I better hit the ball. And sometimes he's surprised that he didn't hit the ball, right? Like, what the hell just happened, right? Like, right? If he strikes out or if he swings and misses, I mean, that's what happens in baseball. That's what happens in baseball. He's surprised that happens. He shouldn't be surprised that he hits it. He should be surprised that he doesn't, because he's confident enough to know that he should be hitting it. You should be so confident enough in knowing that anything that you want, you can bring it from the unseen to the seen. You should be so confident in that, from little things to big things. Oh man, you want a piece of pie. What you do? You go to the store, you buy a piece of pie. You brought it from the unseen to the seen. How confident are you in your ability to carry your butt to that store, pay your money, and get the pie? Very confident in that, right? Because you've done that. You know where to go. Exactly. You know exactly how much it costs. You can match that against how much you have. And you know you got enough gas. You know how to get in your car. You know how to get all the steps required. You know how to go get the pie and bring the pie from the unseen to the seen. The problem is you think you need to know all of those steps to bring your 30,000 in a month from the unseen to the seen. And what we're saying is you don't need to know that. You do not need to know that. What you need to do is have confidence in your ability. And how it's all brought to you is none of your beeswax. That's what we're saying. That's what we're saying. So this is why your faith ain't working. Everybody got it? Recap. Faith ain't working because, number one, you didn't even know what faith really was. Okay, you was telling me what the Bible said it was, but you ain't really know what that meant. Not really. You could recite it. You good at it. You knew what scripture to go to directly. But if you were a true practitioner of said scripture, then you would know, because then you could tell me. But we go and we copy paste because we really don't know. We just can recite. We got to comprehend what the words are saying on the page so that we can actually go out and implement and execute. So first thing was we had to define really what faith is. We had to really acknowledge that it is the guarantee of the thing. And then we had to go and figure out what the guarantee is the what. Well, what is the guarantee? The guarantee is the what? The confidence. The conviction that you have is the guarantee for the thing. That then equates to the faith. So the faith is the guarantee, but the guarantee relies on the confidence. So faith needs confidence in order for it to even activate itself. I don't care what else you're talking about. If you don't have no confidence in it, then you ain't got no faith. I don't care what the people saying. That's just the matter. Now that we realize we need confidence in our own ability, now we can take accountability. Now we can say, oh, wait, you're right. That's not God's job to do that. It's now my responsibility to go and build my own confidence through what? Through practice. Practice of what? Well, really practicing in the self-trust, practicing in my discipline to be able to do what I need to do in order for me to feel the confidence and know that if I keep doing this, the law says it will come. I don't need to know how. I just need to know that if I have the confidence in my ability to bring it from the unseen to the seen, and I keep practicing bringing other things on in incremental levels from the unseen to the seen, then the thing that seems to be the biggest thing outside of my subconscious programming, I could too bring that from the unseen to the seen. But if I do not want to acknowledge that I need to take incremental steps, that I do need to practice, that I do need to build my confidence in my ability, that I do need to take baby steps, and that I should not be trying to bite off more than I can chew by jumping from over here to way over here when I don't even believe or have the confidence that I could do that. I know God said anything is possible, but it's for he who believes. Right up in here. And right up in here, the desire of your heart. That is a knowing, and you don't know it, do you? You still believing. So you got to know, and that knowing comes from practicing, and the practicing builds your confidence. But if you do not have discipline to stick to what you said you was going to do, you will not trust yourself to do the practicing, which builds the confidence, which means you have, oh, ye of little faith, thus nothing from the unseen will come to the seen. And then you'll just keep on saying, well, God must have did wanted something better for me. Nope. No, he didn't. Nope. He said you could have that. He said you could have that. You didn't want to do the work for that. Let's just call a spade a spade. You didn't want to do what it took to get that, because he said you could have the desire of your heart. If it was a desire of your heart, then why you ain't got it? Because y'all want to play games. Okay, y'all want to play games, but you can see through the evidence of your life who playing the games. Now, I hope this added some value to y'all today because we talked about hour and 39 minutes tonight. I promise none of my other videos are this long and they probably won't be this long, but this was a very, very, very important one because this is what's going to bridge the gap. This is why people do not believe they can make 30K in 90 days. This is why people say to do that is a scam. You know why they think that? Because their subconscious box it does not allow for this type of thing to manifest. They cannot even conceive the idea of said 30K in 90 days. They don't know anybody that's done it. They haven't seen anybody that's done it. And anybody that they've seen do it, they've seen them do it because they robbed the bank. It was a scam. So therefore, when you start talking about this type of stuff, people say it's a scam because they cannot conceive the idea. But you have examples in real life of people who have done it where it's not a scam. So your frame of reference is different. And because your frame of reference is different, you actually have the ability to do it. That person would not have the ability to do it. It's available to them. The Most High says it's available because anybody can have anything they want according to the desire of their heart, but they don't desire it. So they can't have it. It's very simple. It's not that God said they can't have it. It's they said they can't have it because they don't believe they deserve it or that they can have it or that it's achievable or that it's real or whatever their reticular activating system is showing up for them. That's fine. That's why we don't convince people. So we're looking for people who are looking for us. The person who desires this has to come to the table ready because then somebody like me can say, here's what you got to do in your mind. I can give you this tactical strategy too. Go back and look at the other 28 days already of this thing. I've already told you what to do. You haven't done that though, have you? You know why? Because you don't trust that if you did it, you would get it. You know why? Because you don't have no confidence in your ability to do it. So you just don't do it. The bat is on the ground. You have walked off of the field and you're still trying to convince me that you got faith, you can hit the ball, but you're sitting in the stands. Let me tell you something. Your actions speak way louder than your words. So Pack Leader 87, now you with me, right? Your faith without works. What works are we talking about? See, everybody want to talk about faith without works is dead. And they talk about usually the manual labor of things, the manual labor, the doing, the toiling. You see what I'm saying? Like you got to work hard. And that is not the works that is being referenced in that particular text. The works are in the what? You have to work on expanding your mind. You have to work on your confidence. Those are not things that require your manual labor. Those are not things that require you to go outside and sweat in 95 degrees. Those are not things that require you to go and work 40 more hours this week when you already worked 40 hours this week. What that requires you to do would be the work of your self-mastery. Working on yourself, Zig Ziglar says. Bob Proctor says, work harder on yourself than you do in your business. This is what he's talking about. You do not have to slave over your business, but you do have to learn to use your mind and build your confidence. And have some dang on discipline so that you can be trustworthy of yourself enough to build your confidence in your abilities. That is what faith is. So to have this confidence even, and not even do the thing of pulling the unseen to the seen, then nothing happens, people. Hello. In other words, your talk is cheap. That's what he said. He said, talk is cheap. Make your mouth say what your mouth wanted to say. I don't care what you're talking about. You ain't did nothing yet. I ain't seen nothing. Let me see that work. Let me see that work. Let me see it. You can't pull out no paper. You can't pull out no receipts. Where your receipts? You ain't got that. Right, because you talking. I want y'all to make sure y'all go get that free digital marketing blueprint, because what my job is, I'm not really this whole mind teacher type of thing. I can teach it because I felt like teaching it tonight. But what I'm trying to get y'all to understand is that I can give you the strategy. But if you don't have this part of it, you won't execute the strategy. You will procrastinate, you'll waste time, you complain, you whine, you cry about because you ain't hitting it out the park yet, but you can't even hit the ball with the bat. Can you please just practice and shush? Just shush and do it. You got to build up the faith in your confidence in your own self, confidence in your own ability. Get the free digital marketing blueprint. If you click on the link, if you're watching this on YouTube, it's in the description. Just click on the link. Go put your name in the box. You'll see a video, and I'm going to encourage you to then continue the process to be part of the Legacy Builder program, and that will give you more of the digital marketing strategy and tactics, the tangible things, the skill set, in other words. It will give you the skill set that you need in order to be able to execute on the things I'm talking about. But even with the skill set, you still need to understand the results formula, which I've said over and over and over again. I learned this from one of my other mentors back in the day. He say belief plus skill times faith equals results. So do you believe that it's even possible? Number one. Yep, I believe it's possible to make 30,000. I've seen people do it. Great. Do you have the skills to do it? Nope, I do not have the skills to do it. Okay, that is why you need to become part of the Legacy Builder program. Get the digital marketing blueprint. That part is free. Legacy Builder ain't free. You're going to have to invest in yourself. If you do not invest in yourself and you have the ability to invest in yourself, guess what that's also an indication of? That you don't have no confidence that you're going to make good on the money that you put up. It ain't because you think this is a scam. It's because you know who's the scam. You know who's the potential scam. You know you ain't going to do what you need to do. So that's why you don't put your money planted in yourself, because you don't trust yourself. So believe it's possible? Absolutely. Do you have the skills? No. Go get the skills. Get inside the Legacy Builder. Invest in yourself and you get the skills. Very simple thing. If somebody is offering you skills and you need these skills, go buy the skills. Something to think about. If you need to fix your car and somebody's offering you, you need to fix your tire and somebody's offering you, well, here's the size tire that you need. What you think about? Get the tire. And if you really need the tire and you don't have the money, what do? You find it. You find it. When my car was in the shop and needed a whole alternator, and the whole alternator was $2,000, and I'm like, good Lord Almighty, I had to find it because I needed my car. It took longer than I thought for me to find it at that time, but I found it. I got it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if you don't really want it, if you don't have a conviction, then you're not going to move. You won't move the mountain before you. You won't move the limitation of, oh, I don't have the money. You would find the money if you actually were convicted in learning the skill so that you can then have the 30K in 90 days. Now, if you're not convicted in learning the skill because you don't have any belief, and then you know that with no belief plus your skill, and then you have no faith, well, then you can just hang it up. You're right. This is not for you. That's how we determine that. It's very simple. If you don't believe it's possible, plus you're not willing to get the skill, on top of the fact that you have no confidence in yourself to even achieve the end goal, you're right. You don't need to get it. However, if you are the person that believes that you deserve 30,000 in 90 days, or you believe that it's possible, you want it, it is enough for you to say, yes, I could change my life with this type of income in this compressed period of time. If you believe that, and we add on to that the skills that we're going to teach you inside the Legacy Builder, which I know for a fact are 100% real deal. And then we multiply. The factor that you're going to grow by is your faith. We multiply it by your faith, by your what? Confidence in your ability to execute. Confidence in your ability to execute on what? The skills that you got. That is going to equal your results. So if you ain't got no faith and you ain't got no confidence in yourself, then why are you expecting results just because you bought the skills? That is not the full equation. You can't buy skills, have no faith and no belief, and then wonder and scratch your head and try to figure out, well, hey, how come I don't have 30K yet? That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's insane. That's the same thing as saying, why would Josiah be in the MLB at 10 years old? It's ridiculous. To even think that is ridiculous. It's the wrong way to think. You're going down the wrong path and you're setting yourself up for failure. Do you see? So you don't want to do that. If you believe that you deserve 30K in 90 days, and we only got 60 days left, and you need the skills, get them with the Legacy Builder. Click on the link in the description. If you're watching this on Facebook, it's going to be in the comments. Now we're going to multiply that times your confidence in yourself. Well, how do we build your confidence? Well, you're going to take some of the things that we're teaching in Legacy Builder. You're going to go implement. You're going to start getting incremental results. You're going to start getting views. You're going to start creating content. You're going to start getting leads. Those are things that are incremental. Then you're going to start getting sales. As you do these things over and over and over, and it builds your confidence over and over and over, you continuously begin to realize that you doing this series of things over time consistently get you your desired result. You don't just jump over there. Okay? That's what we're doing. So now, I had a ball with y'all on tonight. I have to read this note my child has written. Okay, it's like an envelope he drew, right? You can see like the little lines on it. He drew. It's an envelope. Okay, I gotta see. To Mom from Mise. That's his baseball name. I told him when he makes it to the MLB, we're going to change his name from Mize to Mise. Because y'all know in the baseball, you got to hear your name over the loudspeaker. And his last name is only one syllable. And it just seemed kind of like, Mize. Like, I said, I need your name to pop. So when they say, and another home run by Josiah Mise. Now that sounds like a superstar name right there. We got to put the little apostrophe on the end of that E. So he actually put that from Mise. You see what I'm saying? He already got it. He already got it going. He know Mise is who it is. Okay, y'all, I am out of here. Okay. Thank y'all for hanging out with me on tonight. I want y'all to come back and I want y'all to be with me on tomorrow for day number 30. 30 whole days of going live every single day. And then we'll still have another 60 days to go. We ain't done yet. We just getting started. But I want you to be back with me on tomorrow for day number 30 inside of the 30K in 90 day challenge. Make sure you click on the link in the description or in the comments over on Facebook. Grab the free digital marketing blueprint. Get yourself plugged into Legacy Builder. And I can't wait to see y'all on tomorrow. Bye, guys.
See ya.